In 2019, researchers from Michigan Technological University began studying the Mather B mine in Negaunee. Local 3's Melissa Venix tells us more about the process and goal of their feasibility study.
On Saturday, researchers from Michigan Technological University updated community members in Negaunee on their study of using the Mather B mine for underground pump hydroelectric energy storage. Dr. Timothy Scarlett, Associate Professor of Anthropology and Archaeology at MTU, says community members have been important to the project.
When we conceptualized the study, the idea was not to approach it purely from the perspective of an energy company or a regulator or a municipality. It was to think about the question of social interest and acceptance in communities in addition to that. And when we started our project, the reason we were able to do the project is because the community, as well as the electrical provider, WPPI Energy, opened their doors to us. The Cliffs Shafts Museum opened up their archive and made expertise available and shared stories with us. That enriched our study so much that in many ways, that's kind of the point, that we were able to do so much more because the community was involved.
Some of the team members shared what knowledge base the research will contribute to. Dr. Roman Sidartsov is a professor of energy policy. He served as the principal investigator on the project.
In terms of the energy law, I think the biggest contribution is really, merging the scholarship from brownfield research, brownfields and environmental research, circular research, and really looking at it from not just the, say, mitigation, purely environmental perspective, but also bringing the elements of property law, because we are dealing with a bit of uncharted waters in terms of subterranean space. We are dealing with a bit of uncharted waters in terms of figuring out the, say, tax implications of this project.
Shardul Tavari is a PhD student at MTU. He helped consider the economic feasibility of the storage facility.
The current economic model, they just look at like one side of things when they value energy storage technology. Like we've been working on this through this interdisciplinary post research. It is not just about economics, so we can look at a more comprehensive framework and send it out there in the literature that it's not only about pricing of selling and buying which matters. Like you have to look at the overall cost which either the society is paying for or the overall gain which society is making.
Dr. Anna Dearson, Assistant Professor of Mechanical Engineering, spoke of the future grid.
When we look at the electricity grid changing as it is due to multiple economic and environmental drivers, there are many technologies whose role will change and technologies that will now become more possible. Like people are looking at flexible nuclear, offshore wind. They're looking at more and more solar in northern environments and carbon capture and storage. And so this is one, I think it fits in there where it's something that we knew about, but with the future grid changing as it is, the contribution of a technology like this also changes and it may become more possible in a future grid.
You can read more about how they worked on the study at upmatters.com/MatherBMineStudy or by scanning this QR code. Reporting in Negaunee, Melissa Venix, Local 3 News.